Good morning, boys and girls. We are on 8.2 and we are going to work on using multiplication in order to divide fractions. And in doing that, we're still going to use that method KFC, which is the keep, flip, change method. So we are going to go over two word problems together. And then you are going to have two to do on your own on Wiser just to check for your understanding and make sure that you understood how we did today's video. We are first going to draw out the problem to find our answer, and then we're going to use that KFC or keep, flip, change method to solve it afterwards. Erica makes 6 sub sandwiches and cuts each sandwich into thirds. How many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does she have? So we know that Erica starts with 6 sandwiches. She has 6 whole sandwiches to start with. She cuts, another word for cuts is splits, right? So when we have that word, she's splitting up, we know that we're going to be dividing. And it's each sandwich into thirds. So she is dividing her 6 sandwiches into thirds. So we know that this is going to be the word problem we're trying to solve. Well, the first way that I want to solve this is by drawing a picture. So how many sandwiches do I need to draw? 6, that's right. I have our 6 sandwiches drawn on the screen. And I need to split each sandwich into how many pieces? 3, because she's splitting each sandwich into thirds, right? So instead of having one whole sandwich, you're going to have 3 pieces that make up that whole sandwich. So we can go ahead and draw each sandwich to where it's cut into 1, 2, 3 pieces. If you're taking notes, this would be a great example problem to work out with me. If not, you always have this video to come back and look at. Or you can pause at any time if I start going too fast. Alrighty, so I have all of my 6 sandwiches broken into 3 pieces, right? I broke my 6 sandwiches into thirds. Well, we're trying to figure out how many 1/3 size sandwich pieces does she have? So I need to know how many pieces I have in all. So I'm just going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the answer is going to be 18 pieces. But I could also figure that out because I have 6 sandwiches, right? And each sandwich has 3 pieces in it. And 6 times 3 is 18. If you wanted to solve this word problem using keep, flip, change, what you would do is you would keep your 6 the same. You would flip your 1/3, so that means it would turn into 3, and you would change that division sign to a multiplication sign. So in the end, you're just multiplying. And I'll share a little bit more of the screen so you can see that if we had 6 divided by 1/3, we keep our 6 right here. This is our K. We flip our 1/3, and that's how we got our 3. And we change our division sign to our multiplication sign. So when we use the KFC method, we get 6 times 3, and we know our answer is going to be 18 pieces. Alrighty, I am going to do one more word problem with you before I let you try 2 on your own. So this word problem is Roberto is cutting 3 blueberry pies into halves to give to his neighbors. And we're trying to figure out how many neighbors will get half of a pie. Well, how many pies do we know Roberto has? 3. So you can either, try to drag it down instead of move the whole screen. You can either draw 3 pies or write out your number sentence. You know you have 3 holes and he is cutting or splitting. So we're dividing, right? Because we're making that hole smaller into halves. And so you would just write 1/2. And you're trying to figure out how many neighbors are going to get half a pie. So you need to know how many half of pies you have. So if you're drawing your diagram, you have 3 whole pies. You need to cut each pie in half. You could cut it in half straight up and down. You could cut it in half side to side. You could even cut it in half diagonally, however you want. And then you need to know how many neighbors will get half a pie. Well, if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 halves of pie, and each neighbor is going to get 1/2, I know that 6 neighbors will get pie. I could have also solved that by using the KFC method with our 3 divided by 1/2. I would have 3 would be my K, so I would keep it. My F is flip, so I would flip 1 over 2 and it would just become 2, because we know that any number over 1 is just that top number. We would change our division sign to a multiplication sign, and when we multiply, we would know that 6 halves are what he would have, and if each neighbor gets 1/2, then 6 neighbors would get pie. And so I had already written out this number sentence right here for you just to see. You had 3 divided by 1/2. It changed to 3 times 2 when you used the KFC method, and then you found out that in the end, 6 neighbors would get pie. So you're still using the same methods that we learned on Tuesday and Wednesday. You're just taking it a little further and dividing these word problems and breaking them down and figuring out what your division problem is going to be before you can solve it. You can still use the drawing a diagram method. You could still use fraction bars, or you can use the KFC method, whichever is easiest for you. Don't forget to complete your 2 problems right below this video, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow.